Hey, thought I'd go over a few things here. Last night they dropped a patch for all platforms. I believe it didn't come out on the Xbox. Seems like they're already pushing that version aside apparently, but it's on PS4 and PC. It adds a number of things. I'm just going to go ahead and link the patch notes. I'm not going to show everything because it's going to take too long. First thing they did is when you use the horse now and you exhaust all of its stamina, instead of doing the reeling animation, it will just run at normal speed. So as you can see there, instead of him doing the reeling animation and kind of throwing off your whole stride, he just goes back into his normal speed. Now they've also done other things. Apparently they've added extra hideaways. The combat in general is a little bit more fluid. And by that I mean guard breaks seem to come out faster. The assault attack apparently does AoE damage now, which is pretty cool. They don't get instant kill, but they take like a pretty significant chunk. And the AI in general is more active on both sides, meaning the allies seem to be more active. I actually haven't tested it. Some people said it's still not great, but it's better than it was. The enemies are attacking far more often than they did before, so if that was one of your major complaints with the game, then that's pretty much been fixed. I've actually had to, not tank damage as much because they actually fight back, especially on Chaos. So the other thing I wanted to show is this new little proof of concept build I have going on here. Now I'm sure you notice I'm using legendary fire gems. You're probably wondering why I have so many of these and why I'm not using my epic ones. The epic ones cannot get attack speed, so that means if you want to have attack speed on par with the wind build, you either have to go half and half, like you could do half wind and then half fire. That was the build I was using in the last video. Or you can use the solar gems. It has to be the solar gems. The hearth gem rolls, I guess, the other stuff like projectile damage and things like that, so that won't work. If you want to get it, all you have to do is Chapter 11, you do the Wuzhang Plains on Jin, and you'll get all 3 scrolls right there. So if you're at that point in the game, you can just play any of the characters in Chapter 11 and get it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and go to a town really quick. None of the ape. Actually, I can go here. This is part of the story where Lo Yang is like messed up or something. I've been skipping all the cutscenes, but the NPCs aren't there. So I'm just going to go to my hideout instead. No, wait. I actually do have to go to town. Doesn't make much sense. Okay, so you'll go to the blacksmith and you'll craft the solar gem. Now, the third stat is going to be RNG, so what I suggest doing is buying as many rubies as possible. If you've been fighting a lot of officers, if you're at the point in the game where you can even unlock the solar gem scroll, then you're going to have a ton of diamonds already, but rubies you're probably going to be on short supply, so you can either go around the world and hit up the clusters, which apparently they regenerate every chapter now or something like that, or you can just buy them. So you go to Lake Poyang, East Village, which is right here. Lower right hand corner of the map. Over here is the mountains, one of the areas where you can fight some of the lower level bandits when you're starting out and you want to farm some equipment. And the shopkeeper here will have the rubies. So they have quite a few of the crafting materials here, but the rubies are what you're going to need to craft the gems. So So they're 800 a pop, so you might want to do some fishing or sell whatever junk you have from the bandits and get rid of it that way, and then just buy as many of these as possible, because you're going to need to reset quite a bit. The attack speed can vary from 2% to 4%. So ideally you want 4. If you want to min-max completely, you can get 4. Otherwise you can just settle for 3. But either way, attack speed is like the rarest affix that you can get on it. So you're going to be resetting quite a bit. It's actually not going to be feasible to reset every single time, so you're going to brute force the RNG. That's basically what I did. It still took me like, I'd say 20 to 25 minutes to get all +4 attack speed. Now there's a lot of RNG with the gems. As you can see, I'm just barely at double damage with the fire elemental, which doesn't matter too much because everything is fire, so fire is always going to be procced no matter what. But the attack speed is kind of what's important. That's the whole point of this build, is you have the damage of fire and you have the attack bonus as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out to the field here. First I'll show how you can craft it. I'll show how much it's going to vary.
Hey,
so if I craft this right now, actually let me save really quick.
Hey,
like, see, there's strength plus 11, which is what you're not going to want with this build. The whole point is to have a kind of a balance between attack speed and damage. So, standard fare here, you just quit, reload the game. The loading times are going to vary depending on what platform you're on. Probably if you have like a solid state drive in your PS4, it's probably not going to be much different than PC, but don't quote me on that. And your gems will be back. Same procedure I've used before. You can just do this over and over. And like I said, the like spawn rate of the attack speed in general, not just +4, is really low. So you're going to want to buy as many rubies as possible. You should have enough diamonds as it is already. I'll go ahead and I'll link the Reddit where they've got all the villages that sell the crafting materials. You can go there. I believe you can buy the diamonds. I don't remember exactly where. I'll go ahead and I'll correct that in the description. But you're going to want to do it, I'd say at least, I'd say 5 to 10 craftings before you reset, because otherwise it's going to take forever. So that's basically the gist of it. The patch notes apparently didn't really mention a lot of other things, like the combat being a little more responsive. I think this patch is definitely a great step for the game, and that's why, like I said, I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break from the game after I finish the story, which I'll probably do tomorrow or today by the time you see this, because it seems like they are really dedicated to fixing their game, and I don't want to get to the point where I'm just so burnt out that I can't really experience or enjoy it anymore. You can see how much damage that did. He was level 71 and he went down pretty quickly. So it's not optimal, it's more of a well-balanced build, but I'm enjoying it so far. I think like 24% attack speed is like kind of the sweet spot, because it gives you enough for a lot of the slower, more inconsistent movesets. And you actually have about double damage from your fire proc anyway. Alright, so that's basically the gist of it. If you use an assault attack near other enemies, they will actually take damage now. The AI is attacking far more often. They fixed the horse pretty much. You can actually sprint on the horse just as much as you want. He won't do the reeling animation anymore. They have fixed the allies to a certain extent. I believe they haven't been fixed as much as the enemy AI, but it's a step in the right direction. So if you're on the fence about continuing to play this game, I think you should definitely at least keep an eye on the patches, because this patch is it's pretty huge. It changes a lot of things. Also, apparently, hold on. These went down in price. They nerfed how much you can sell these for, which is kind of weird because everybody is just fishing to get dozens of these things in a few minutes. I don't really see what difference it makes. But they did nerf how much you can sell these for, but if you use my farming method that I posted back when the game came out, then it really shouldn't matter. And if you're fighting bandits, you're going to have a bunch of these books anyway. So that's another change that they made. The rest is kind of just more, I guess you could call it insignificant stuff. So I'm interested to see what they'll do. If you're on the PC version or you're waiting for the PC port, this doesn't seem to have affected my performance at all, either good or bad. It seems like it's pretty much the same. So I'm assuming what's going to happen is the PC patch that's supposed to add the traditional Chinese language and dub back into the game. That's probably going to be the one that will hopefully fix the performance, but unfortunately this one didn't really make much of a difference, if anything. So I'm still going to have to play the game sparingly, and I'm pretty much at the end of the game anyway. So if they're going to patch this often, this is the second patch in about a week, then I'll definitely will be waiting for those, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted as well. So if you have any clones that you'd like me to do, you can probably go ahead and let me know. I do have, if you want to see here, I have a majority of the best weapons in the game, a pretty decent chunk of them, or at least the unique ones. So if you have any clones, maybe I'll do these later on. No promises. I am still kind of waiting for optimization and stuff, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, hope this helps, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.